word that we should capitalize? What kind of word?
God.
Okay. Names of, this is kind of all combined together. Names of people, you can put this on the board. People, places, pets, words referring to God in the Bible. And then also on there we have initials and titles of respect. Okay? Braden.
Capitalize the letter R.
Yes. When it's by itself. Not when it's in the middle of a word, right? Okay, Matthew? What's another word we should capitalize?
Capitalize days of the week.
Okay, good. Days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You might have to lift up underneath and if you put, yeah. I had my helper last year made this, so I'm not exactly sure which one goes where. Okay. Alex. Months of the year. Ready? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Good. Autumn.
I haven't gone over,
Okay.
but it's the first word, the last word, and every important word, and like the name of the book, the name of the song.
Right. Yep, that's one. We'll talk about that today. Logan?
First word of a sentence.
Good. Beginning of a sentence. And Jaina, although
Months of the year.
Hmm?
Months of the year.
we did that. Yeah. Jacob? We did that one. That's kind of all on that first one. Jed?
Proper nouns.
Yes. Proper nouns.
Proper nouns like what, like common nouns, just boat and then Titanic were proper.
Right. That's true.
You capitalize the first letter.
Right. I don't have a thing for that one. Who am I going to pick on? You're both.
No, pick on Nicholas. Nicholas.
Although you.
Nicholas.
All right, Nicholas.
Well, I know where to put it.
I know, but what
I don't
is
know
it?
where to put it.
What's it say?
You can see right through it.
What's it
I
say?
can't.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I can't.
All right, Marissa.
That's not smart.
The holidays.
Holidays and special day.
Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each row a common noun, and then I'll go down the row and you tell me a proper noun that can be in place of the common noun. All right. So row 1, give me a proper noun for a store. Store is common. So can you give me a proper noun for store? Jaina? Walmart? Giant?
Food line.
Food line. Okay. Row 2, give me a proper noun for the common noun pet.
Cat. Dog.
No. The common noun is pet. You give me a proper noun for pet. So a pet's name.
A pumpkin. Jack.
Jack, pumpkin,
Snowball.
snowball. Don't you have a cat?
Rocky.
Oh, you had a cat.
Sophie. Sheldon.
Think of it. I mean, it can be a pet on TV.
Sophie. Sheldon.
Can you think of a pet on TV?
Chocolate.
Cookie.
Huh?
Garfield.
Garfield. Very good. Bradford. Okay, row 3. Give me a what?
Yeah.
I thought of Odie.
Odie, yeah. Okay, give me a proper noun for the common noun. Restaurant.
Chick-fil-A.
That's not a restaurant. Yeah.
It's a restaurant. You hush. Not supposed to be talking anyway. Jensen? Burger King?
Starbucks.
Okay, good. Row 4. Give me a proper noun for the common noun school. Carroll Christian Schools. It's another school. Dylan, can you think of another school? I mean, it can
What about
be
your
a
old
famous school even.
What about your old school?
Lucas? Hmm?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Think of a what school did you go to last year? What?
I forget.
What school did you go to?
Pretty Boy.
What is it?
It's called Pretty Boy.
Pretty
Our
Boy
schools were
Elementary
pretty-
School?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our schools were pretty close together.
Alright, Micah.
It's a good school. Wait, I need a book.
Pensacola Christian College.
Carter's Bridge.
Yeah. Okay. Or you could have done Westminster High School. I went to Sandy Mount Elementary. Harvard is a college. Alright, but you already had a turn. Row 5. Give me a proper noun for the common noun president. Some of you are calling out and you shouldn't be. Trump. President Donald Trump. President George Washington. Lucy. President Abraham Lincoln. Very good. All right, now we're going to talk about. Now, some of you have your books open, and some of you are drawing. Please stop. The reason I don't want you to open your books, I've told you this before, is because you're looking in your book and not listening to me. That's your last warning. All right. Today we're going to talk about the proper nouns of books, magazines, newspapers, plays, and then you have ship names and airplane names that would be proper nouns. Now, not only do you capitalize them, but you also need to underline them. So, Farmer Boy is a book. It's a title of a book. So you underline it. Ranger Rick, that's the title of a magazine. You underline it. Carroll County Times, that's the title of a newspaper. So you underline it. Romeo and Juliet, that's the title of a play. So you underline it. Titanic is the name of a ship. Underline it. So those are all, think big. Those are the big things. So you underline them. Now, sometimes you might see a title written in italics. Okay, now what that means is that the print is kind of slanted a little bit like this. Okay, it's kind of hard to do when you're writing, but when you're typing, you can tell italic print from regular print. It's just slanted a little bit. That is the same as underlining. So if you see the word Titanic and it's in italic print, it's the same as being underlined. Now, here we have titles of songs, poems. If you had newspaper articles or short stories, so those are all smaller things. What what you do is you put quotation marks around them. That's how you would write the title of songs and poems, short stories, newspaper articles, magazine articles. Those are all smaller parts of the bigger people, bigger things. Okay? So, remember that when you're writing titles. Yes.
I have 2 questions. So, the ones that you just put quotations, do you underline them as
No.
well?
No.
Okay. And my other one is, in a time, do you underline it twice?
No.
Okay.
Just once. Okay? So, open your language book to page 55. Now that we discussed that, all right, now they give you some other examples at the page, top of page 55. They say there's a book called Life on the Mississippi, so they underline that. Speedwell, that's the name of a ship. Now, do you see how it's not underlined, but look at it. It's written in italic print. You see that? How it's kind of slanted a little bit? That's italic. Daily News, that's a newspaper, so they underlined it. Spirit of St. Louis, that's an airplane. But notice that it's in italic print, so it's the same as underlining it. Okay, and then at the bottom they actually used the same poem that I wrote on the board. So, the Sandpiper, there's a short story called The Elephant's Child, so that's in quotation marks. Home on the Range, that's a song, quotation marks. And then there's Matter and Energy is a chapter in your book, in your science book. Now, if I were going to say the name of the book, Understanding God's World, that's the name of the whole entire book. You would underline that. But if you're just going to write the title of one of our chapters, okay, our next chapter is called Energy, Sound and Hearing. You would just put that in quotation marks. Okay? So, for the first thing we're going to do, think A, use proofreader's marks to mark capitalization and to insert missing punctuation. So, number 1, we sang Jesus is a Wonderful Savior last night around the campfire. So, volunteer. You think you can find all the missing things, Jacob? Nice. I can't.
Capitalize the we,
Yes.
and then Jesus.
Okay, so we is capitalized. Jesus is capitalized. What else?
Savior.
Okay, and actually, we would underline or capitalize is. Keep messing up. Is A, you don't need to capitalize. Wonderful, you need to capitalize.
And Savior.
And Savior, you need to capitalize. Those are all the main words of the title of a song. So what else are we missing, Jacob?
Campfire? Campfire?
No. Campfire is just a common noun. But what did we just learn about titles of songs? What do we do with the title of a song?
Underline it.
Not underline it. Remember, what did we do to Amazing Grace up here on the board? That was the song. Were you sleeping?
Yes.
Alright, Nicholas.
Put quotation.
Yes, you have to insert quotation marks. So Jesus is a wonderful Savior, that's the name of a song. So insert quotation marks.
Don't you have to underline it too?
No, you don't underline names of songs, you do quotation marks. You only underline titles of big works of writing. Books, plays, entire magazines, newspapers. Alright, number 2. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a silly poem that Grandpa read to us. Alex?
I wanted to do this too, but you like when you try to capitalize the stuff, you only underline
Oh,
it too.
twice. You're right. I need 3 lines. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so you want to capitalize the walrus,
Good.
the carpenter,
Okay. I'm not gonna write all the words, just the ones. Right, and we don't need to capitalize and the, because those are smaller words.
silly, and poem.
No. Silly poem is not a common, or not a proper noun.
Grandpa,
Grandpa's already capitalized.
Oh.
So what else do we do? The Walrus and the Carpenter is a silly poem that Grandpa read to us. What do we do to poems?
do you want to put quotation marks?
Yes. We have to insert a quotation mark before and at the end of the title.
He did it again.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Alright, number 3. The By the Master's Side is the title of this beautiful painting of Jesus and the children. Okay, now I guess I did not mention, along with ships, planes, trains, there and also works of art. You underline. Alright. Autumn.
Capitalize by
Good.
masters,
Yes. Masters.
side,
Mm-hmm.
then you underline by master side.
Yes, you do. Because that is the title of a work of art. It's a painting. So you've heard of the Mona Lisa? It's a famous
Yes.
painting. You would
The
underline that name.
painting.
Vincent van Gogh, Michelangelo, all those artists, all their paintings are works of art. You have to underline the name of them. Okay, number 4. The Mayflower was the ship the Pilgrims took to the New World. Logan.
Capitalize the
Mm-hmm.
Mayflower.
Good.
Pilgrim? Wait, no, those were capitalized. Ship.
Not just the word ship. Now, if it had the name of the ship, which it does, Mayflower, that's proper. But just the plain word ship, that's common.
Underline the Mayflower.
Yes. Underline Mayflower, because that's a name of a ship. Probably look better if I did it. Alright, number 5. An article called The Wild Stallion is in this magazine. So it's telling you it's the name of an article in a magazine. Alright, Autumn, you're the one with your hand up.
Capitalize
And, good. Okay, first word of a sentence, then what? although, okay, when you do capitalize the when it's the first word in the title.
Okay,
So I didn't,
the
yes.
bridal station.
Mm-hmm. Stallion. No, it's because it's not the name of the magazine. It's the name of a story in the magazine.
Quotation mark.
Yes. So insert quotation marks before and after the name, title. Now, if that was the name of a book or the name of the magazine, then you would underline it. But it's only a short story in the magazine. All right, number 6. The title of the next chapter in our history book is New Frontiers. Logan.
So, capitalize the, underline the history of it.
No, history book is not proper. That's a common noun. Now, if it gave the name of our history book, which is called The History of Our United States, that's the title of the book. But if it's just saying history book, that's a common noun. Right, what else should we capitalize?
Next chapter,
No.
title,
Hmm?
title,
Honey, no. Proper nouns. Proper nouns and titles of things. Okay? Can anybody? All right. Jensen,
Frontiers.
what's the name? What's the name of the whole chapter, though? The title of the next chapter in our history book is New Frontiers. So capitalize New and Frontiers, because that's the name of a chapter. That's the title.
And then insert quotation.
Yes. Then you put quotation marks. Okay? So just remember, bigger pieces of writing and big vehicles and works of art, those all get underlined. All the little things like little stories, poems, songs, chapters, those are smaller. Those get quotation marks. All right, for proof B, we're going to use proofreader's marks to correct the error in each sentence. So, number 1, I have read the short story, A Gift for the President, 3 times. So, what do we need to do to fix that? Lucy, what do you think?
Lowercase
Actually, no, that stays capitalized because it's the first word in the title.
a. What if the line just put quotation marks?
Yes, very good. So this is what you're gonna have to do. They underlined it, but it should not have been underlined because it's only a short story. It's not the name of a book. So what you're gonna do is, okay, so it's like this, A gift for the president, and they underlined it, but we're gonna delete the underline, and how do you delete? Show me, in the air, what do? Piggy tail, right? So you're gonna take a little piggy tail and delete the line.
Here's a picture.
Delete that line, and then what did you say, Lucy? Do what?
Add quotation.
Right, insert quotation marks. Okay. Number 2, Holly saw Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting, Mona Lisa. Ooh, we talked about that. All right, not that I don't want to call on you 2 girls. Let me just see if I can get some other volunteers. Noah. me what's wrong with that sentence? Remember what Mona Lisa is? It's a painting. So what should we do with paintings? Just like a ship or a train or a boat, we're supposed to underline it, not put quotation marks. So Mona Lisa has quotation marks, but we're going to delete the quotation marks. And instead, we're going to underline. Okay, please don't draw all this other stuff here, okay? All right, number 3. Jameson has memorized Window Boxes by Eleanor Fajon. So have you.
Is that good?
Or Jean. Not sure how to say that. Brayden?
I sharpened my
Yes. Okay. I know, Autumn. Let me get some other volunteers. Oh, question? Okay.
Do you insert when you underline?
Good question. I wasn't sure either, but I don't think you do.
Okay.
Because I don't know how you would do that.
And also,
Unless you went like this, but.
and also, like we put quotation marks and whatever using quotation marks around, and it's at the end of the sentence. Do you put on this side of the period?
Yes. If I were to write the sentence that said, my favorite painting is Mona Lisa, and it had a period, although that, or say my favorite poem is The Sandpiper. You would write it. My favorite, I'm just gonna do that. My favorite poem is The Sandpiper, quotation mark, period, quotation mark on the outside of the period. When it's at the end of a sentence, you put a period and then a quotation mark after it. All right, so what about number 3, the window boxes? Micah. Okay, let's put that down so I can see you. Put your shield down. Why is number 3 wrong?
Because there's no
Quotation marks?
yeah. There's no quotation marks after window boxes.
Right, so it gives the first one, but not the second one.
It actually
It does, but it's in the wrong place. Right. So we need to insert a quotation mark after boxes, and then what do we do with the one at the end of a sentence? Delete it. So the quotation that's at the end, you're going to delete. Because you only put quotation marks around the title. You don't put it around the author's name also. Number 4, Kelly said that her favorite book is Heidi. Marissa? Yes, you have to underline Heidi because that's the name of a book. And so what do we do with the quotation marks that were there? Delete. Delete the quotation marks. Okay, is everybody understanding what we do?
Yes.
Okay. Now, for remember C, this is a review. Draw a dividing line between the subject and the predicate parts of the sentence. Underline the verb twice and underline the subject once. Number 1, a pika has large round ears and a very tiny tail. Lucas. Where should we divide that? Where's the line between the subject and predicate? Okay, after pika? Okay, so what's the subject? Or what's the verb?
Tiny.
No, you can't tiny. Look, it's a helping verb. Has. So has is the verb, and what's the subject? Pika. Number 2, pikas can live in extremely cold climates. Dylan, where should we draw our line?
Behind people's
Mm-hmm. And what's the verb?
live
Not just live,
can
can live. And what's the subject? Who or what can live? Pikas. So pikas as your subject. Number 3, their thick fur coat protects them from cold wind and freezing temperatures. Autumn.
after could
Good. And what's the verb?
because the subject and protects is the verb.
Yes, protects is the verb.
Because the subject.
No.
I mean,
Who or what protects?
could.
The coat protects. Coat's the subject. Number 4, the pika would overheat quickly in a warmer climate. Logan.
Pika. The pika is the subject.
Okay, we'll draw the, so we're gonna draw
The
the
line
line here,
between-
right?
Pika and wood.
And what's the verb?
Pika.
No.
Wood.
Would what?
Overheat.
Yes. That's a verb phrase. Would overheat, and what's the subject?
Pika.
Pika. And the last one. God gave this little animal the perfect body for such a cold, harsh habitat. Jacob.
After God
Mhm.
and underline gave twice that God was.
Good. Gave is the verb. God is the subject. It helps after you find the verb, you say who or what did the verb. And it should give you the subject. Okay? You can put that away.